tell you what I do. I want to read this.
I will start. Is it 3 minutes now?
We have 3 minutes.
We have 3 minutes to go.
To see Expo. Okay, how I started.
How did you overcome them? Okay. And how did... And how important it is to foster collaboration and networking among SMEs, to help them adapt to economic changes. Okay. And if the other guest does not come, you also give us some innovative approaches that probably you have leveraged that other SMEs can leverage, to increase their resilience in volatile economic environment.
It's going to come. Maybe that's basic comfort when it's carry.
Yeah. I hope it comes. Guest ready since the other person is not here yet. Yes, I can.
I can hear you too.
Okay. Let's discuss a little bit on from agriculture, manufacturing to services, and retail to other key sectors of the economy. Small and medium enterprises, SMEs, contribute significantly to Nigeria's gross domestic product (GDP). Small businesses is said to have contributed about 48% of Nigeria's GDP, making them a critical driver of economic growth and development. That's according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Recognizing the critical role in Nigeria's economic development, the government is constantly developing and implementing policies to support the growth of SMEs, particularly with the current economic realities stemming from the removal of fuel subsidy and inflationary pressure. Now, to this end, government is impacting on the growth trajectory of small businesses in the country with the recent launch of the Standard Trade Development Facility project, which is aimed at addressing barriers and making them export ready, in addition to the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment efforts towards building synergy with stakeholders on fine-tuning ways of empowering SMEs in Nigeria. Now, how would relevant stakeholders collaborate with government to ensure small businesses thrive? Thanks for joining us. I am your carrier, Clinton, and this is Nigeria Today. Discuss, coping with economic SMEs, coping with economic challenges. Here in the studio, we have an entrepreneur, a business expert who runs an agro-food processing company named Bin Calf Palace Nigeria Limited. He's Kafilat Abimbola Ayeni. Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Okay. Before we bring our other guests, I'll start with you, Kafilat. You know, in Nigeria today, quite a lot of challenges, economic challenges have, we've seen a lot of economic challenges. But it's interesting and, will I say, my mind is kind of calming to see someone that's still doing well in the business. So tell us about your story. Tell us, how did you start? What were the challenges you encountered? And how were you able to overcome them?
Thank you very much. My name is Kafilat Abimbola Ayeni, as I am well introduced. And of the truths, how I started as a small business owner was just from my dining table in my house. When I tell people that it's just barely something I had passion for and I love to do, and I started it in my house, they tend to ask me, then how did it get to you having a factory? And I tell them something. What drove me most was the passion I have for my business. It wasn't that I have the money to start the business. It was the fact that I love what I was doing. And it took me to the stage of having to take my time to understand what I am doing, because I studied marketing. So seeing me today in food processing, I must have been able to get myself to have to read, understand, and know the process. But I thank God. I think I was working then, had a 9 to 5, and God blessed me with a boss that had an understanding of what I am doing. And I actually got my first financial stipend to start my business, to grow my business from there. And it continued. It's not something, if you have passion for something, it's not something you want to start and stop. It's something you want to see it grow, especially something you have plans for. So it's something that perseverance made us to get to where we are today. Forgetting the economic up and down, we still continue pushing, and we believe that it was going to take us somewhere. And it's actually, for now, where we are today, we are not going to say we are not thanking God. We are actually appreciating God.
Okay, we are now being joined by Ambassador Collins Musu. He is an international trade facilitator. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Collins, put us in clear perspective. What is the role of small businesses and how critical they are to Nigeria's economic growth?
Simply put, in terms of statistics, let's just say more than 60% of the employment in the country is from small businesses. And we're talking about employment, you know that that's a huge number. The GDP depending on who you're looking at, numbers are about 40% of our GDP is controlled by small businesses. They're contributing. Again, it's not a number to discount. So if you're looking at 60, you're looking at 40. You're telling us that of everything that we do, for every 100 naira that passes through this economy, 60 of it is circulating because of the small businesses. And if we're shouting and screaming and crying, it means that if we don't pay attention to the small businesses, then we're going to be in crisis very soon. So it's not just a local thing. It's an African. It's on a Pan-African scale. That's what we're seeing. So we have to pay attention to small businesses. MSMEs need special attention for any economy that wants to thrive. Otherwise, you're already on the pathway to going under the bus as a nation.
Okay. Now, back to you, Ayeni Kafilat.
Yes, ma'am.
Why call you the Kambi?
Just call me the
Bin Calf. I love that. Now, tell us. You've told us how we were able to surmount, some of these challenges. So, tell us, what is the role, or what is the role of the government in ensuring that you succeed in your business and other SMEs, owners out there?
of the truth, what the ambassador has said has actually just hit the nail on the head. And I can tell you the truth, without the government soft pedaling a lot of rules, regulations, it's going to be killing the future of the nation, not just the business of an entrepreneur. Let me tell you something. I'll give you an example. I'm an SME. I want to export out of this country, and I'm an exporter, apart from being an SME. And I want to be in the United States of America. I want to be in Canada. I want to be in UK. I want to be in Gambia. I want to be in Kenya. I've just mentioned different continents, different countries to you now. Every of these countries have different regulations that fit into their economy for you to be able to sell. And I tell you the truth, as a Nigerian business person, I can only register one pack size. Or if I'm to register 5 pack sizes that I'm taking to all these countries, I'll be paying different amount of money. If I am not careful, I'll have different NAFDAC number on all this. This is too much for an entrepreneur. For a nation that wants to grow, all these regulations needs to be reduced to the barest minimum. All the taxes that involve exportation out of this country should be broken down to the letter for an entrepreneur, especially a small business. I'm working on taking Nigerian staple food out of this country to Canada. And as I speak to you, I was speaking to a client today, and every pack size I was preparing to Canada today is not the same thing is required for me to bring to the United States of America. What is it telling me? It's telling me I have to get another NAFDAC number for that pack size. It's already telling me I have to get another packaging materials for that pack size. So if the government is going to, if I am willing to do the pack sizes, the government should come in the way of reducing the regulations, that is holding the hands of entrepreneurs from exploring, from progressing. Because the truth about it is that they can only work hand in hand with us. What it takes for us to say we want to go global. Everything we've been talking about is how to make the SMEs go global, is how to grow the economy. And the best way we can do this is for them to bring down all these policies to the barest minimum, so we could actually work hand in hand and also grow the economy together. Like you said, for somebody that brings in 60% of what the nation earn in a day, it's enough for you to listen, give them listening ears, know where the shoe actually pinches these entrepreneurs, and come to our level. We are not multi-billionaires. We are not we don't even have this money to call ourselves multi-billion companies. We're just small scale businesses. And trust me, if you allow us the way we are going, China will be very difficult to even compete with Nigeria. I'm not joking, because we have what it takes.
That's good. That's consoling, actually. Now, Collins, there's this adage in my place that says, it said, emergency challenges a warrior, but it's during emergency that you know who is a warrior. Now, with that, now, what are some of the innovative approaches, or technology that SMEs can leverage, to increase their resilience in a volatile, economic environment?
I think in a volatile, uncertain environment, there's also an adage that says you don't prepare for battle on the day of battle.
Sure.
Right? So what we need to do is to begin to help our SMEs, prepare them intentionally. One thing I can really say is in terms of standards, quality standards, and that speaks to what the DG of the WTO, Okonjo-Iweala, recently came to do. So the fund, the $1.2 million fund, to help in terms of standard for cowpeas, sesame, that's great, that's good. I understand that the British Standards Institute is also working with parts of our government to streamline a few things in terms of regulation. So we don't have too many, you don't have SON doing the same thing that NAFDAC is doing the same thing. So to try and bring some cohesion to what's going on. That's the first thing. So that cohesion she's spoken about is quite important. For the SME also is that they need to begin to look at e-commerce. It will be difficult to thrive in the future of tomorrow, or the future of today really, without e-commerce. If you're looking at real estate has gone from being physical to being virtual. So we need to invest. Again, the WTO DG has done something quite interesting. She's launched another program which is supposed to be targeted at, helping small-scale businesses, focus on women, but helping small businesses to prepare in terms of e-commerce. But I think that's important. And that's a quick win, because averagely the mobile penetration of the country is quite high. So we have a lot of people with their mobile phones. They have access to the internet. So for any small business that wants to begin to expand, you can take your phone and begin to put your business on there. That's one quick win that we can use as a country.
Okay, now back to you, BIMCAF. Now, how important is it to, to foster collaboration and networking among SMEs, to help them adapt to economic changes?
You can't overemphasize that because this is an extremely important thing. Of the truth, the kind of collaborations that SMEs even have among themselves now was not in existence before. The rate at which we collaborate, you'll be surprised somebody is calling me for share. I don't do share, but I'm willing to collaborate with somebody that does to be able to contact with my clients, to be able to supply. You'll be surprised I don't do beans, but I export beans. I've been able to do 1.6 ton of beans. It's not mine, but I was able to bring the person's beans and say, come, I need you to supply me beans. I need to give my client the best of the beans. And you may not be able to do it the way I want. Can I have your beans? Can I do it this way for you to see this is how I do it? Bring your beans. This is how we package. Entrepreneurs actually collaborate more within themselves right now. And it is very, very important as entrepreneurs to actually collaborate among each other so that we can actually handhold each other through success. It is not something that can be done alone. It is only when you want to lie to yourself, you tell yourself, I am going to be like Yoruba Awadi. There's nobody like Awa. Awa is a lot of people, meaning we have arrived. So if you want to arrive, you have to arrive together. You cannot just say you want to grow something and think it is just going to be done by one person. It's the collaboration between us now. It's growing. I cannot tell you it's not. It's just still very, very slow, still very, very small. But as we grow and as we understand the business, as we try to help each other, we're getting better. And we're going to get there. We're going to get to a point where I won't be able to do without Ngozi. Kelechi can't be able to do without Titi. We all have to hold each other's hand and be able to carry what we want to carry and move our business forward.
But presently in Nigeria, what is the level? Do you think it's...
we
need more?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
In Nigeria, as within Nigeria, and the Nigeria itself and the SME, definitely we actually need genuine collaborations with the government, because at the point at which we are now as business, we need extreme collaborations with business, with government. The WTO DG came in, and she came in with so much of, she's always coming in with goodies. She was here 2021, she made promises and she fulfilled them. She was happy to see exporters and exhibitors, SMEs, having to have several changes on her product. She came in and she was excited to see several certifications being attained by entrepreneurs. She was excited to see that it was not where she left us at 2021, she met us at 2024. She saw that there was progress. And the best way for government to do now is to leverage on this opportunity. That the only problem, Nigerians don't only have cowpeas problem. We don't only have sesame seed. I am not a commodity exporter. So we don't only have commodity export problem. We have even problems of genuine certifications for processed food. When I mean processed food, it's not if you want to leave the shores of Nigeria to say you want to export to Canada now, to say you want to export to any other country. There are certain certifications that you can't afford. But with the collaboration of the Nigerian government through the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, they've done it before. They still gave us some certification, but we don't want them to stop. We still want them to keep supporting us with everything necessary to handhold us through success. So collaborating with Nigeria is actually what will actually ease the problem majority of our SMEs are going through.
Thank you very much. This is still Nigeria Today. I will take a short break now and listen to the views of Nigerians on the street as put together by Comfort Amodu. Don't go.
Everybody is complaining. Things are not moving well. High cost of living. Those that operate small businesses are finding it very difficult to do their business very well. While there are some federal government intervention funds that we know in this country, but I'm not really sure if those that are operating small businesses have access to it.
Even after providing the money to start the business, we find it very difficult. You know how the country is now. Things are cost of transportation, cost of living. even when you want to the bank, you find it very difficult to get loan from the bank.
Even if people are giving loans, what is the guarantee that they can actually pay back the loans? So if you want to say grants, okay, yeah, but loans, another way of actually tightening the noose around somebody's neck by giving them a loan at this time. The best thing that they can offer will be grants. And if we can fix things like power, many businesses will actually be more relieved, because okay, now there is no even light. So even people running private businesses, they have to also run generator from morning till night to fund a business that they might not even be able to restock.
Welcome back. This is still Nigeria Today, and we're looking at SMEs and coping with the economic challenges. Now, I have here with me a gentleman and a lady. Now, after we just listened to the people there, and some really reeled out the challenges they have in growing their business. Now, but then before we talk about that, what areas are SMEs making impact, and what areas should they do more?
I'll say SMEs have proven to us that resilience does exist, right? I mean, at the interactive forum with the DG of the WTO, we saw an SME, PRI Global, that has obtained organic certification, Nigeria's first organic certification for shea, meaning that they can export to the EU and the US without fear of rejection of their shea product. They've done that. So, and I mean, you can hear from Bimcaf, she's moved from her dining table to a proper factory. SMEs are moving the boundary. It's not for them to continue to move the boundary. They are willing to do so. What they need now is that kind of collaborative support that we're talking about. So you're looking at clusters. You're saying, can we now begin to have clusters, industrial clusters? Can we have a place where we say we're going to support them with the energy, we're going to support them with training, we're going to support them with the certifications that they require, so that from these places, we're able to bunch up what they do and send it out. There's no need changing what has always worked. I mean, right from time we've had small markets. So when you go to the small markets, collators, who we now call middlemen, collate from the different markets. Either they collate from the Kano market, they collate from, and then they bring things together and then they sell bulk. The same thing can happen here. We can collate our small businesses in the clusters that they already are and support them in that manner. So we're now able to provide them with real, let's say resource. I'll just leave that resource that is required. And resource comes in various forms. That's what's needed at this point. If we don't do that, then we're going to leave them to keep struggling. We're going to put ourselves back a few more years. So what could have been done in 12 months will now end up being done in 5 years because we're not giving them the push. But if you're saying, what have SMEs done? SMEs have been resilient. SMEs have on their own gotten certifications. SMEs are on their own getting themselves trained. SMEs are on their own providing the water, the security, the equipment, the power that they require. So to ask them to what more can they bring it's not a question we should be asking on this point.
Okay, you've been in this business, Binkaf. You've been in this business for quite a while, and you told us some of the challenges you face and all of that. Now, for those SMEs that are yet to start exporting, like you've started doing, how can they be export ready? What can they do to be export ready?
I want to pick up from where he even first started from. When he said PR has gotten certificate for Nigeria. No, she's the first in Africa to actually have gotten a certain particular certificate. And I, for one, as BIMCAV, I'm also a common facility center. That is where other SMEs come to produce their product for export. And sincerely, if you ask me a question, how can an entrepreneur get export ready now? We need extreme government support for us to even be export ready. And I will tell you how. A facility that is being run by diesel, that is being run by expensive electricity, that is being run by raw material every day skyrocketing, may not be able to live beyond the end of April. And I will tell you why. We want the government to create, he mentioned cluster. We want the government to extend what is existing in Lagos that is called incubation center. We want government not to make it one per state. make it available almost everywhere, where people can go in. It's in Kano, it's in Lagos. I don't even know where it's. I think it's in Kaduna, also, or Mina. I think it's in Mina. But I'm not seeing it in Abuja. I'm not seeing it in almost everywhere around Nigeria. SMEs want to grow, but through incubation center, where you are, even where you are exporting to, if they see that it is a Nigerian facility that has all the certification that it takes, and they know that electricity that is provided there will be cheaper than what even me, BMCAF, might be able to provide, because I will pay for diesel. As I speak to you now, if you ask me, my most important need right now is to have a 100 kVA transformer, not a gen, attached to my facility. Why? Because I do not want to hear that there was 321 volts coming in from the general transformer and blew up 3 of my dehydrators just last week. So I know if government have a facility that they can manage themselves and have people. Kano is doing successful. If they can, Lagos is doing very well. If they can have all these clusters, SMEs will have where to process their product, and you are sure that you are competitive. Because if you come to think of it, if you are producing in a facility where it is expensive for you to even process, how are you sure that you can be competitive where you are going? Government should give room for this, incubation centers to come up almost immediately. And for SMEs coming up, there are a lot of challenges in export, but you can actually strive and make money out of it. Trust me. With this present exchange rate, export should be your go-to game. So the only thing on your head, if you think about your business, is to think about export. It is doable. It is workable, because Nigeria has what it takes to give out to the other continents that are seeking our product. Every day when people call me and ask me for advice, and they tell me their business is not selling, what I'm doing is not selling, I tell them one thing: don't remain in what you are producing. Diversify.
You talk so much about government support, but the government is empowering the SMEs. Just,
we are not saying government is not empowering us.
Thank you very much.
Government is empowering us. You cannot expect me not to ask for more. Do you
so
see
you're not
me?
the elevatrix. So
yes, I'm the elevatrix here for every entrepreneur.
So, Ambassador Collins, what steps can SMEs take to mitigate, these problems associated with currency fluctuations, that we are faced right now, and or changes in government policies?
Well, one of the things that you can do majorly is to collaborate. You don't have to do everything yourself. So if there's a common facility center like she has, then it's something to go into. The second thing I think is for investors actually to begin to look at the entire value chain. What can we do? So if I can invest in creating a common facility, then why not I do that? That means that I've taken away some of the burden we're talking about that government should get into. Another thing is upscaling. The business owners can upscale, and you cannot upscale in ignorance. She's not where she is on ignorance. She's not operating on ignorance. There is intentional learning that you need to go through. So if you need to learn about how money works, how you can access finance, begin to keep records of your books, because one of the challenges we have in terms of giving access to finance is records. And most MSMEs don't keep records. They don't keep good records. So record keeping is a major issue. So upscale, collaborate, learn more, expand. I think these are some of the keys that they can use.
When you say upskill, you mean to going for trainings and
acquiring
more knowledge.
Whatever you do, you need to acquire more knowledge. You need to you need to capacity building. It's not something you can't even say you want to learn and stop at.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With that, we'll wrap up today's episode of Nigeria Today, but we'll say a very big thank you to an international trade facilitator, Ambassador Collins Musu. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, Kafilat Abimbola Ayeni, who is an entrepreneur, a business expert who runs an agro-food processing company, BMCAF Partners Nigeria Limited.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for coming, sharing your wealth of experience with us. And that's it on Nigeria Today. Thank you so much for being part of it. I'm Eukaria Clinton. Goodbye.